Lesson 8.1 Video 2. When we do transformations, we have to consider a couple key pieces of characteristics of the shapes we're dealing with. Case in point being what changes and what doesn't change based upon what you are doing to the figure, what kind of transformation you're doing. So a way to remember what things you want to consider is A, B, C, D, O. And these refer to A being an angle measure, and under transformations, the angles always stay the same. B represents betweenness, and that represents order. And order of the betweenness, or the letters, is preserved. In other words, the vertices is what we're talking about here. And the order of the vertices are the same. Collinearity refers to points, and the points will stay on the same line. They don't jump off and go other places. They'll stay in their appropriate places. Distance. Now we're talking about certain things here. We can make a shape bigger or smaller. So we're talking about length. May or may not. Stay the same. Because if we just rotate it, the sides would be the same length, but if we shrink it or make it bigger, then that would be a different story. Orientation is the order of the letters. So we'll say naming order. Oops. And we're used to this because we describe triangles and rectangles with the letters in a certain order. So we're talking about naming order, and we have to be clear about one thing, that sometimes we can label something clockwise, which we will refer to as CW, or counterclockwise, which we would say as, what we would describe as CCW. So these things we can consider when we're talking about a shape and how it's changed, and we'll look at all these characteristics of certain types of changes later. This ends Lesson 8.1, Video 2.